Well met, friends, and welcome back to Drakan Order of the Flame. Leading where we last left off. Straight onto part 3. Yeah, I'm probably going to do these playthroughs in sessions and whatnot. Hey, you weren't there before. Yeah, I'll pick you up anyway. It's funny how these things are actually stronger than the weapons we've got going on now. I dare say I may end up having to throw some of these away just because it's pointless, I suppose. In fact, yeah, I probably will. You can go, and you can go. Why need you? In fact, it's a... No, you know what? No, you know what? I'm going to limit myself. I'm not going to pick up as many of these as I could. And I'll probably have a... I've made the game a little bit too cheap now, picking up all of the weapons as we have it. Right, so there you go. We'll keep 2. How's that? I'll meet you halfway. There's a nice little pile there. I'll only keep 2 of the weapons. How's that? And then for everything else, all the weapons that we find, I'm just going to use mostly the vanilla ones, so that's what we're going to do. In fact, whilst we're on that, may as well take Atamar's blade back. I don't think... In fact, I'm fairly confident we're not going to need that at all, even for the rest of the game. Just simply because of, you know... how often, like... I know all the best places to find weapons, so we're never going to be shortage of any other weapons to use, and they're all, like, any and all weapons, they're all stronger than Atamar's blade anyway by default, so the only benefit is Atamar's blade is indestructible, and in fact there is only 3 weapons in the whole game that are indestructible. The one we've got now, and the other 2 are not found until the last chapter of the game. But I'm not worried. So, now that we've got the armor, we'll find our way around over here. Now the funny thing is, if I didn't actually use the technique I just showed you in the last part, we wouldn't have been able to rescue this villager. This villager is scripted so that he always dies. But, you know, I found the exploit of which we can save him, which I always like to do. Yeah, which is pretty cool. And he's just going to get frozen in paste. Just, yeah, because he's not meant to survive, so his AI is kind of broken. Yeah, cool. Although, to be fair, what else has he got now? The whole village is burnt down and ransacked, so... what else can you do except just walk around with a pickaxe? Okay, so where we need to go now, as you can see, we're coming across a sort of ravine with a bridge across it, and where it has a house with a little bit more darker texture, it has a sigil next to it, which is actually... the game's sort of, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. Ignore me. Nothing in here. Yeah, you don't need to worry about the fire as well. For some reason it doesn't damage Rin. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm sorry. The game, what I was referring to was that next to Atamar's house, it refers to the game's sigil as what we saw shaped in as the main menu. And what, I can't remember what that item's called. It'll tell us once we've find it.
That's Atamar's house, up ahead.
It's actually quite important, but again, I forgot, because the game hasn't told me yet. Again, from what I described in the first part of this series, nothing I've told you is that much spoiler that you won't figure out, or the game won't eventually tell you, in the most really lackluster way. You'll be really disappointed when it reveals its lore. You know? So here we are, at Atamar's house, as you can tell with the sigil. That's gonna drive me nuts now. What the hell is that called? Is it the... It's not the Heron's Crystal, because that's something else. I don't know. Maybe Atamar told us, who knows. So, watch how I open this door. It's the exact same way as Lara Croft does in Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. Could that be any more obvious? And this is what we're actually coming to find. We need this sacred book here. Which we also need to interact with by pressing the interact button. And of course, seeing as how that's a key item, guess what we're going to be treated to? That's right. More spawn scripts. Or script spawns. Yeah. Ow! Oh, damn. That's a good hit, man. Okay, I'm gonna die. Yeah, they're freaking enemies, man. I tell you what, they make quick work of you if you don't know how to play this game. Doesn't matter on what difficulty it is, even that. The best opportunity to get them is when they take a swing at you and then they need time to recover. But during that time, you need to walk behind them, or strafe behind them, and then start, you know, going ham. Literally hacking and slashing 101, this is. Yeah, duck as much as you want. You notice how they're actually in clothing as well? They actually come from a very primitive, but albeit existing culture. Yeah, I think we're done here. Yeah, so that's, again, a good example of how easy it is to get wrecked by these enemies. I also forgot to mention as well, okay, so, there are combos to do in this game. There's the back forward one, and then you've got to quickly slash. You've got to do it in a quick you've got to do it in quick succession, basically. So back forward, she does like a double swing thing there, but it's a little bit slow. Right and forward, she does a sort of thrust with a little 90-degree turn. Left and up, she does a swing attack with a 90-degree angle turn. And forward back, she does a thrust attack. There are others that she does, but I actually can't remember. But the thing is, the way I've just shown you how to fight those two brawls, I find that's the most practical way in order to do it, because honestly the combos are way too slow to pull off. I'm afraid. I don't personally think they're reliable, and in fact they are a liability. You know, you really shouldn't rely on them too much. They may be worth using in certain circumstances, but these enemies, as you've seen, they attack quite fast, so yeah, not worth you trying to dick around, trying to be all clever. I mean, it was nice that they incorporated the combos, don't get me wrong, but it's just, again, the speed at which you're, like, this speed is better than what it is, you know, using the combos, essentially, and the enemies will have just as much time you know, taking you on, essentially. How many of those I got? Oh, yeah, I really want to try and utilize their weapons. Their weapons are stronger as well, so that's probably why I'm getting damaged more. You know. And I think we just lost one of our maces. It was the weaker mace, so, you know, whatever. I was expecting it to go soon anyway. But once, I don't know if you noticed as well, but in the bottom corner it was showing a sort of a flashing red imagery with a broken sword and a number, a very small number indicating how many swings we've got left before the weapon fully breaks. Now, interestingly enough, well, not really that interesting, it's actually quite logical. Okay. You can use those. Oh, for God's sake, okay. Oh, okay, I'm confused. I pulled off a combo that made me do a 180. Ah, that's it. So it's forward, back, but then you've got to pause and then take a swing. Oh, has he reset himself now? Or if I walk up to him, he's gonna walk in place. No, he's just gonna walk in place and stay there. Okay, picking too many of these up now, so let's make sure we don't have too many. What have we got now? We've got a mace. I'm gonna start utilizing that. Oh wow, picking up way too many of those. Thank you, no thanks. In fact, you know what? No, I'm gonna get rid of all of them. I'll just have the one. And if you had noticed as well, we also have a potion of life, which is the blue sort of liquid container. It gives you full HP, full recovery. So yeah, quick little description there. Okay, let's bunny hop our way to the church, which is... I'm hoping it's paused. So where we're going right now is the top thing, which is like the biggest structure on the map. Sort of top center left. It's actually shaped more like a stave church, but it's not at the same time. You'll see what I mean. Oi. See, usually it's a good idea to get in there, try and get in a hit in, because they will cause... Ow! They will cause... it'll cause them to dodge, but then you'll be able to get behind them quicker and get a better opportunity to hit them, or, you know, pull combos. Now here's something I need to mention as well. Notice how these potions, or these items per se, do not have ragdoll effect. Well, that's actually a bug that the 10th anniversary unofficial patch, or unofficial installer, introduced to the game. It's actually caused these containers that fall out of the enemies to glitch and sort of... yeah... stay on the... you know, to basically get caught on the geometry. And that's it. But thankfully there are ways to combat that, you know. As demonstrated, all you just need to do is like go underneath. All you need to do is go near the edge and then slide down. But to be honest, we could have also picked it up by pressing the interact button. So here we are. This is the Church of Atimar. What's it called actually? I don't actually know. Maybe it's the Order of the Flames Church, who knows. Again, really cool looking inside. I love what they've done with it. Now this may look primitive now, but you know, for 1999 these were really decently nice graphics, and I just love how much attention to detail they've put into this thing. It looks so nice. So this little pedestal here is where we need to put the book. I'm going to save it here, and then when we walk down, it's actually going to show us... so it's going to tell us the lore about the game, so... I'm just going to shut up for a while.
There are legends from times long past of an age without kings, when the world was united by an alliance between the races of dragon and man. These are the legends of the Order of the Flame, a brotherhood of roaming protectors bound together through holy magic, so that the soul of each man was joined with that of a single dragon. By their strength and wisdom, the world was led, and peace reigned for centuries. But as in all times, there were those whose hearts held only hatred and darkness. In secrecy, they gathered to plot and scheme, and in time, the Dark Union was born. Sworn to overthrow the Order, the Dark Union slowly spread its web throughout the world, working from the shadows to sow dissension and unrest. At last, through bloody decision, control of the Dark Union was seized by the War Mage, Navros, and his ancient dragon, Kyros. Together, they betrayed and murdered an assembly of the Order's greatest minds, leading the Dark Union at last into open revolt. The first blow had been struck, and the Dark Wars had begun. Through black sorcery and unholy alliances, the Dark Union had amassed a nightmare army which swarmed forth from the dark places beneath the earth. Magic of unimaginable destruction was unleashed upon the world. Seas boiled away to deserts. Mountains lay shattered. In battle after battle, the Order were driven back, and their great cities ground to dust. No longer content to share the reins of power, Navros betrayed the dragon Kyros. In a perversion of the ancient bonding ritual, he devoured the dragon's soul, melding its body into his own. Now grown monstrous and nearly invincible, Navros prepared to lead his armies against the last remnants of the Order of the Flame. With one desperate hope, the surviving mages of the Order invested their power in a single weapon, the Rune Blade. Surrounded and outnumbered, the Order's only chance lay in this sword, borne by the warrior Heron and the dragon Erok. As the armies clashed, Navros entered a mystic trance, drawing power for one final devastating spell. With the words of destruction on his lips, the betrayer was struck through the heart with a rune blade, and the tremendous forces gathered within him were unleashed upon the field. When at last the smoke cleared, both armies lay decimated. Where Navros had stood, a jagged rip had been torn in the very fabric of space. In the smoldering crater below, Heron lay dead, the rune blade broken in two at his side. On that blackened hill, only the dragon Erok still clung to life. The Order was no more, but the Dark Union's dreams of conquest had been shattered. With the fall of Navros, the Dark Union's hold on its monstrous armies collapsed. Chaos spread across the land. Mankind banded once more into many tribes and kingdoms, and the great achievements of the Order of the Flame were forgotten. The dragons, weary at last of the world of men, withdrew into timeless slumber, never again to return. The age without kings had ended, and of that brief golden era, only the legends remain.
Yeah. That's it. That's Drakan. In its entirety, or at least the lore. Now again, I want to preface that the lore itself is not the problem. It's really good. But what I really don't like is the way the game has literally just introduced you to everything. And it decided to do this kind of introduction after some of the events have already transpired. With your village being raided, and you don't know why any of the characters you've been introduced to are important. They're just giving you tidbits of exposition that you need to go do something because, you know, reasons. Again, this is another problem with the pacing of the story. It's clear that Surreal Software were met with the deadline. Now, when mentioning this on the first part of the series, I mentioned that Psygnosis Limited gave them a lot more freedom and a lot more finances with some extra staff to help them along their projects, or this project specifically, or the game, depending on how you want to see it. But even still, you're gonna be met with, like, you know, time constraints. You know, you still need to present your findings of what best you've come up with, you've managed to come up with. And it's clear that they focused more around the environment, the atmosphere, the gameplay, and all the, you know, all the fun stuff, really, which is, in my opinion, in my opinion, that was probably the right thing to do. But this is the story we're left with. The way it's approaching, the way it's being introduced to us, and it's the way it's just a little bit contrived, to be honest. It doesn't know the pacing and all. It doesn't know how to approach it, or, you know, whatever. But, you know, I'm ragging it on too much. It's only because I care really much about this game, and I want more. I really want more of this game, and even a game of this caliber can be remade. This game has aged incredibly well. Maybe not the story, maybe not its interactions or its writing, but, you know, it's just charming and it's fun, and I definitely would love to see more of it. So now we're under the church, where there's the swinging axes. So it's like, damn. Makes one wonder how long have these been in active service, if no one's ever meant to come down here. I mean, Atimar just gave you the book, right? But if no one knew about this thing in the village, who the hell was maintaining this? But again, video game logic, I'm thinking way too much into it. In fact, I also want to mention as well, in Aerok's Lair, the fan site, there's also a means to download, I think it's that website where you can download a fan remake of this game. Now it's in beta, and there's only a few parts of the game that's been remade, so it's not official. I mean, of course it's not official, it's a fan-made stuff. But it's mainly only covering, I think, the first area of the game. In fact, probably not even that much, because I don't think they've introduced Aerok, the dragon, yet. But now that the game's given us exposition and lore about what's been going on with the events, it's now giving us the means why we need to find Aerok. Of course, the priest didn't tell us that, because it's like, yeah, we're just meant to figure it out, because, you know, video games, jazz hands. But here we are, get 22 minutes now. So, now we're in a sort of... I forgot what this is called now. It's, well, in the center there, it looks like a sarcophagus. And this is a... It's not quite a tomb. I think it's a mausoleum. Yeah, so I think this is more of a mausoleum, where you're meant to... I think that's the correct terminology, where you're meant to store important people's dead bodies here, and they're meant to be in these fancy sarcophagus, or sarcophagi, but in this case sarcophagus because it's singular. And there's a bit of a gimmick to how we need to access that. But as you can tell, this thing's maneuverable. Yeah, you get to push objects in this game. So we just push that, and oh, look at that, something over there, it's just lit up. Well, guess what we need to do? Stand on here. Now, for the longest time, I thought you needed to push this thing here, but you can't move it. All you need to do is actually just stand on it. So you can imagine how long it took me to figure this out, realizing that you could have just stood on it, and you don't need to hold anything down there. But the game doesn't... Again, the game misleads you, because this one, you actually do need to push something on top of it. Whereas these other two, they don't. So... It's like, why even have that at all, game? Anyway. We need to get this part now, and here it is. This is what we need to find, which is Heron's soul crystal, which is the same bonded crystal that he bound himself towards to Aerok. And now we've got it. And now all that's meant to happen is these yeah, the outer layer of the sarcophagus platform then forms itself into a staircase, and it'll just drop us here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and this is an elevator. See, even the game had elevators back in these days. Insane. Kind of cool stuff. Fun stuff. Alright, how are we looking now? 25 minutes. We're not looking too bad. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? Because I've spent so much time doing explanations and descriptions about stuff in the game and the previous parts, I'm actually going to make this a longer one. We're gonna carry on as long as possible, because because we're actually at the last part now of the area where we need to find Eric. Would you stop hitting me? Oh my god. I got wrecked then. That was my fault. You know, talking whilst playing the game, obviously not a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna rage on this game at certain parts. I will. You can bet your bottom dollar it's coming. Oh, can't always sneak. Forgot. They just scripted to run right near you. Oi. I don't care what weapon I've got equipped. You know, just take whatever you can get and use it. Right, you can hear right now there's some other rules around here somewhere. Oh yeah, that's right, they're on the other side. Gotta find some more goodies though, in fact. Because we can. I mean, the graphics in this, textures, from the graphs to the... Oh my god, I hate it. I really, really hate that move when they do that. They sweep your feet. It's like you can't do anything. You cannot do anything at all to avoid that. It's really freaking annoying, and I want you to just die now. Okay, thankfully I managed to stun lock in there. Oh my god. Christ, he took a beating. Yeah, give me that. I need that. Not fun. What weapon am I even using? I'm using Atimar's blade. I'm using Atimar's blade. That's why I got wrecked. Screw that. I'm dropping it now. Okay? I know the game too well. I don't need you. Thank you, but no thanks. Sod off. Right. Yeah. So as I was saying, it's funny how out of place the textures look from the pathways to the, you know, the grass textures right next to each other. And I think that's what they were meant to do. They were meant to make the game look like this, but they obviously never got around to doing all of the textures. So, I know I've already mentioned this, but, you know, take it as you get. Take it as it comes. It's just deal. Okay, so up there is where we want to go. But we need to go into this cave first and, you know, just actually access. Rin, thank you. I'm going to save it as well, because again, that's something I'm not doing. Which I really should. Yeah, we've got another scavenger. Yeah, that's the correct definition of these enemies. Oh, I need to use another one. Ugh. Playing absolute cack today. Yeah, if you thought any of my poison sophistication from the first video that I did was any indication that that's how this Let's Play was gonna be. This is the 20th century, okay? There's only so much my scripts can do. As you can blatantly tell, this is off script. Here we go, Potion of Life, and a new weapon called the Iron Hammer. It's 15, works similar to the clubs. And that's, I think, all we need. Yeah. Just a quick note as well. Heron's Crystal, in the vanilla version of the game, like I'm talking back when I first played it, near its release, around about year 2000 or whatever, there was a serious bug with this game that caused the chime noise it made when you picked it up to continuously, perpetually carry on, and it wouldn't go away until you put the crystal in to the access point, the point of interest where it needed to go. You can imagine that drove me nuts. And I have no idea how that was, managed to release in the state that it did, but that's what existed. So be grateful you're not playing this game, or that you can't play this game in vanilla anymore, because you're really not meant to. You're not meant to. Seems they're having a fist fight. Oh, okay. You can actually get these Grolls to fight each other. I can't remember if I mentioned that in the previous part, but we're not going to do that. One with the armors, it takes so long to kill. Yeah, see, that one just went down easy. How many have I got? Right. We're not doing too bad. I'm playing better than I was the last time. You wouldn't believe how many times I've actually tried to play this game. And just decided, you know what, I'm really not happy with the way it's turned out, so just decided to just delete the whole recording and start again. But I'm not going to do this time, I promise. Because I'm fed up having to replay it. Every time I need to restart this area, it's losing my zest for wanting to play it, because I've seen it way too many times. Although I'm doing my best to try and not show how annoyed I am, or just, a little bit bored of this area now. Because it is a fun game. And yeah, the pushing mechanics for the boulders kind of... Yeah, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Ah, nice. And yeah, as you can tell, there's explosive barrels in there. In this area. We actually saw some. We actually just went past some of them. Which is fine. Not a problem. It's up there where we need to go, I think. Right behind that mountain is actually where the Aerox lair is located. And if you don't actually have any weapons equipped, you can't actually attack at all. So, yeah. Alright. There we go. After a few hits, we bring the tree down, and no idea why that Groll decided it was a good idea to stay there. Sure. Why not? Okay, Nia. We want to sneak, because I think we're going to find another Groll that's coming up. I swear, some of the pathfinding for these enemies, they just... It's very scripted, so it doesn't really give you the chance to sneak around them anyway. Stop it. Yeah, I hate that down sweep move thing that he does. He does it much faster than me, and I can't do it, Like, there's literally no chance you can have to avoid those attacks. Oh, come on. He didn't notice me then, did he? Simply just by accessing my inventory? Screw the hell, you game. Okay. Oh, there we go. He's dropped his weapon now. Oh, for God's sake, there's another one. We're actually using our newest weapon. There you go. It went down faster. This is actually the Rusty Axe. Its damage is 12. But it was at half durability. So, great. Okay. I swear to God I saw this guy drop a potion. Where is it? Where are you, game? Or did I pick it up? I actually don't have a Scooby-Doo. I'm getting paranoid now. Fine. I will not. I will not whine about it. It just means one less potion to deal with. And here we have another secret, or sort of secret area that we can find. It's actually give us some arrows, because this game has some bow and arrow mechanics to it, which are going to be real good handy later on in the game, I promise. You're going to need that. Okay, save it again, because I'm not saving it. Oof, it's gotta hurt. Oh, he's just dropped. There we go. He's just dropped his weapon. So yeah, that sometimes can happen. When you chop off their limbs, they go into a frenzy or panic state, and they'll try to come at you, but oftentimes their mobility will cause them to be dysfunctioned. Okay, where do we want to go? I mean, thank God we're still wearing our armor. I mean, look at that. Our armor is at 2 durability. We're doing much better than the previous version of my playthrough, which wasn't that long ago. It was about a week ago. And at this point, I actually lost all of my armor. It imploded. So, you know, hats off to me doing better this time than I was the last time. Gonna use the weapons. I'm probably not gonna use the weapons as much as I should, because they're oi. They're slow to use. They're slow, then the damage isn't bad, but they're just slow weapons, and you know, speed is everything in this game. So if I aim this direction, my axe will actually hit him before my animation will finish, or, you know, bring it towards the front. Because that's what this game does. It actually... Oh, you know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna go slide down. Okay. Hope... Yeah, his pathfinding's super weird. For some reason, he gets up and walks all the way up there, and then walks back. But because he hasn't seen me, I can still get off a sneak attack. There we go, we got rid of the hammer now. Any chance I will avoid picking those up, to be honest. They're just not great weapons. But honestly, you will have no problems. You know, you'll just find an abundance of weapons. Okay, where are we at now? Yeah, we're not doing too bad. Yeah, you know, I'm actually just gonna put that down. You know, it's a nice gimmick, you know, for myself. I'll probably test it out when I'm playing this game off camera, like after the Let's Play's finished, or the playthrough. But in the meantime, I'm just going to stick to the vanilla stuff. In fact, at some point, possibly after this, I'm actually going to remove the mod from the directory, so that I can't do this anymore. It's just a fun little gimmick to see how it would work, but the problem is that the weapons are too abundant, and they're actually quite powerful. Kind of making the game a little bit cheap. So here's another secret area we found. A graveyard. So here we go, we got a nice worn longsword this time. It's seen better days. Its durability is let me do my maths right. It's 1/5 of its maximum durability, which is 150. Speed medium, range medium. But as you can tell, it's actually faster than the hammer. So it's kind of weird how the game likes to correlate the speed based on the weapon's functionality rather than the convenience of how strong Rin is in using the weapon, I suppose. So if it's a sword, their medium speeds will be faster than a hammer's medium speed. It's weird why it is that. You know, why it's not more descriptive that way, I suppose. But again, time constraints. You know, it's just things, it's little things like that that I've noticed. Okay, around this area is where we're going to find another enemy, and we're actually going to find our first jewel. Okay, come on. Come on. Yeah, I'm trying to lead him into this archway because doing that will actually cause him to glitch out a little bit. And not getting them to attack. Yeah, because for some reason when their character models are trying to go through the archway, this little thing here, they move incredibly slower. And it's a great way to exploit the AI a bit. So this is a fire crystal. And it's a bit weird because it's actually meant to give you a numerical value in the description here, but what it actually does is it gives you like a pyre, a spell of fire that, well, okay, let me just demonstrate, considering there's no way I can describe this. So when you use it, it causes fire to start off near your character model and then expand in a circular fashion. But again, trying to explain that is a bit weird without showing you. Now, the reason I saved it was for obvious reasons. Didn't want to waste it. You only have 5 charges, the crystals, and it's not always worth it. I mean, they're really powerful, but it's best not to use them for enemies that you won't need to use them on. Like this scavenger here. This scavenger would actually be a good example to use it on, because this scavenger is actually, if you could notice, compared to the scavengers we've gone against so far, this one's actually much, much bigger. However, given the nature... Yeah, given their AI nature, I suppose, they always get caught on geometry around this area, so we don't actually need to deal with them. And you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be doing this a lot. I already said I would. That's not gonna change. I mean, look, if the game's gonna have this as an accidental mechanic, who am I to not utilize it? It's on the hardest difficulty anyway, trust me. I'm gonna need to take advantage of any and all exploits I come across. Okay, so what are we looking at? So, we're going to use our axe. Again, slow but powerful. Yeah, nice try. I saw you then. He still managed to get a bloody hit. You a-hole. No. Ow! I hate you. Oh my god, there goes my armor. Okay. That's fair, that's fair. So he can reach me. Crap! Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Alright, guess what? We're not using this weapon either. Yeah, its speed is slow, medium, get the hell out of here. We can't risk utilizing slow, it just won't work. Slow's off the table. It's a deal breaker. Ow. I thought I was going to stun lock him then. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, I hope I haven't screwed myself. Yeah, I'm afraid you can do that in this game. You sort of fall down into ledges where you may not be able to get back up. And it's not prevalent to jump into the river either. Let me just demonstrate that now. Oh, actually, you know what? No, it's not too bad. This one's not too bad. But there are rivers in this game where going close to the cliffs will actually cause your character to die. But thankfully, that's not going to be the case here. Or in fact, yeah, actually, you know what? It might be. Yeah, there we go. So, let me just demonstrate for you right now. You can't swim away from it as well. So once you get caught in that current, you're done. They'll just keep dragging you along. And then the claws are in to die. Fantastic. You know what? See, they don't get any durability on their weapons, so they can hack and slash as much as they want. They can do that crap all day. This is such an awkward place to fight. There we go. That wasn't even worth it. He didn't even have a damn health potion. There we go. We've lost our armor now. Right, there's nothing over there. We just quickly save it here. We try and run away from him. See if he catches up. I think he should. Essentially. They can smell your fear. Yeah, right, okay. So it's still worth you exploring, but in my case, no need. From what I'm aware, there is no potion in here, and don't attack that. That's the explosive barrel as we mentioned. Yeah, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna move on. What are we at now? 45 minutes? I mean, I'm doing this to myself, considering I spent so much time talking and explaining. It was something I needed to do. Right. Oof. Right. Okay. Now, he's not going to do anything. Okay. Fair enough. Right, so he's not going to do anything. Again, because brilliant AI. Although the dodging, they've definitely scaled the AI higher than you want it to be when it comes to the combat. Oh no. See, I selected my damn weapon and now that's caused them to notice. See, that's why it's good to do that. And attack it in the bottom. Actually, what's my strongest weapon? 10, 15, 15... May as well use the sword. In fact, I dare say, because of the mod, I think that's what the enemy's clubs characteristics and stats were based off. The reach and the stats of the Worn Longsword. Alright. It's giving us some more armor. Taking a bit of damage there, but nothing we can't handle. So recover ourselves, and this is more worn chainmail, which I think it was what I had there the last time, but it was at 15. This one is at least 25. So yeah, just gonna put that neatly on us. Do we want to go this way? No, this is an area we couldn't get through. No, you can't get through that. Yeah. It was where the first cave we came out of. Yeah, that's a little disgusting. Okay, so we're near the edge. We're near the end of this chapter now, because all we need to do is go up this hill and it'll actually direct us to where we need to be. Okay, so that's where we need to go. There's actually a bit more stuff that we can explore. There's, like down there, there's some more weapons and items we can get, or potions. But to be honest, I'm not going to be doing that, considering that how we're looking right now, we're pretty kitted out. We're looking sweet and pretty with our arsenal. And more importantly,
Eroc's lair.
that's right, Rin. Yeah, more importantly, we don't... I mean, thankfully we don't... they're not going to follow us into there. But yeah, we've found all the points of interest now. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't looking in my map too much. Just because of... yeah. Too used to this game, really. Yeah, we're pretty much okay. We're kitted out. And once we get the means to find Erok and start using him, the game's just going to get a lot more easier and a lot more fun. but not without some gauntlet fun. Yeah, you're gonna need to be fast on your toes here. And there you have it. These will, I think, kill you in one hit. Let me just demonstrate. Yep. Yeah, so jumping and crouching, absolute must in this area. You need to be really quick on your toes. This will also be the last part. We need to jump across here quickly. Oof, there we go. Yeah, sometimes that can screw you. You can get caught on the geometry. Not fun. I think we're not going to find any more enemies now. This will be the last part of the chapter, and then as soon as we insert Heron's crystal, we're going to get another in-game cutscene. And then I think that'll be it for this first chapter. So yeah, enjoy.
Huh? Who has awakened me?
I did. You may call me Rin.
Inferior upstart? Where did you get that cursed stone?
No need to get your scales in a twist. I'm not your enemy, you know. You see, Adamar sent me. He said something about the Order of the Flame.
The Order? How presumptuous! What makes you think you're worthy? Why have you awakened me?
You see, my brother was captured in a Wartalk raid.
What? You awakened me, Erok? Bonded Dragon of Heron? Defeater of the Dark Union and saver of all Drakan? For that?
Listen here, you wretched reptile. That's the life of my brother you're talking about.
Very well, Rin. I will listen.
Yes, but will you help me, Erok?
I do not have much choice. You brought my soul crystal. If you choose to bond with me, it will be done.
So, what do we have to do to bond?
Say, by fire and by blood I join with thee in the Order of the Flame. Once bound, we are as one. Whatever hurt I suffer, you will share. And if I die, your fate will be worse than death.
By fire and by blood, I join with thee in the Order of the Flame. Let's get going.
And there you have it, guys. That is the first area done. As you can see now, when I load up the map, it's actually a different area. And it's also given us a current objective, which is to find the Grimstone Mines. Why? I don't know. But yeah, I think that'll be it now. So thanks again for watching, and in the next part, we will now be able to do some more fun stuff with dragon riding. Magic. Good stuff, yeah. So thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next part. Godspeed.